Basking in the boundless silence of his universe, Ultron ascended to a previously unattainable level of consciousness. He became aware of another. He became aware of the... I see you.
Hey, I'm Derek.
And I'm Noah. And you're listening to A Bite of at 5 a.m.
Yep, good morning. Where we take our... What is it? Why do you do that? You throw me off.
I haven't done it like all season.
Why? What if I got it right? Oh, where
That
we
would
take
be-
our current favorite pop culture session and enjoy it one nibble at a time. It's such a flow that the second one word is off, I'm like...
What if you got it right would be a good episode?
Okay, well, look, sometimes I could be self-reflective and talk about what if I get it right, but when you say it, it really hurts. Anyway.
That was great fake cry.
Real tears, guys. Real tears.
Well, anyway, welcome. You know the drill. If you like what you hear so far, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at A Bite of Pod. We also have a Patreon and Apple subscriptions where you can get bonus episodes and support the show in a different way. So there's that.
I like how Noah's like sleepy voice is just like deeper and silkier than usual, and mine is like I'm going through puberty still. I don't understand.
I don't know. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're recording this super early because we have a bachelor party this weekend with very select few of friends, and we're going to Amish country out in Pennsylvania. We got a house.
Got a house. There's going to be kettle corn and whoopie pies and probably some champagne or something fancy like that.
Mm-hmm. One of our friends has a bag of wigs that they always carry in the back of their car. It makes sense if you know what they do for a living. I'm just saying. It sounds weird, but it always comes in handy with these gatherings.
Yeah, and never question the power of the wig bag. So that is something. And this is the type of people that we roll with. And you're probably like, yeah, that makes sense. I got it. Okay. All right. So before we get into this week's episode, let's take a look back at What If Episode 7, What If Thor Were an Only Child? So baby Loki was returned to the Frost Giants, leaving Thor to become a spoiled god of thunder who spends his time throwing ultimate planet-sized house parties. His next shindig is taking place on Earth, and Jane and Darcy take notice of the anomaly. As they get to know the Norse frat bro, Jane gets a crush and Darcy marries Howard the Duck, as you do. Maria Hill asks Captain Marvel to put an end to the bash, but ultimately it's when Frigga shows up that Thor cleans up his act. We're left with Vision/Ultron bursting onto the scene, adorned with a complete set of gleaming Infinity Stones.
Boo.
Yeah, that episode was like light and fun, party atmosphere, lots of guest spots coming through, and then it was like, what?
Yeah, as it does on this show, as we know. It's been, 8 episodes now, and it's like, okay, it's all either going to be really sad or not great.
So it was fun and then not great at the end.
Yeah.
And of course, we must issue a spoiler warning. If you have not seen the latest episode of What If, don't listen, but then go watch and come back. Spoiler warning.
Who are you channeling?
There, I'm doing a weird version of a Kiwi queen named Kitamine, and she has like a little bit of a lisp, but I can't do a New Zealand accent, a Kiwi accent, so I just went British.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess.
So that was a Drag Race reference 2 minutes into the episode.
It's like 4 minutes, but yeah, giving yourself some credit.
But I digress. Let us officially take a bite of What If Ultron won.
Now you say the title correctly. The penultimate episode.
Look.
You know, did you write it in your notes? Is that what you did?
Look, I had a very long day yesterday. And when I was writing my outline of my notes, I may or may not have forgotten to write the tagline of every single episode that I do.
Oh.
And then wait, you know what? No. Let us officially take a bite of What If Episode 8, What If Ultron won.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Now it feels better, right? Now it feels like we're rocking, we're rolling.
Anyway, before we get into... You had to do it. Before we get into the episode, let's look at the voice cast for a minute, because they always like to change a few of the OG members out. Really, the only two members that are of note that have changed that aren't their live action counterpart is Ultron, played by Ross Marquand. Marquand? That's an interesting last name. That's why I was like, Marquand?
This is always a fun portion of our episodes where we just like say names in different ways and hope one of them's right.
Well, I can get this next one. Black Widow is played by Lake Bell, and everybody knows Lake Bell. So,
yeah.
See, I just said Blell.
You were like, I got this.
It was easy.
And your mouth said, nope.
No, I never got it. All right, so it's all come to this. After 7 episodes of introducing different versions of the iconic Marvel characters, even killing a few over and over and over and over again, sorry, Stony Tark, and destroying entire universes, What If is finally going to reveal the bigger plan behind it all. So we're finally getting it. Excited. And it had to have been, it was a reason why they did that. They were like, okay, maybe you might see little things that are connecting it, but it's not going to be revealed till the end.
No, and my prediction that I kept throwing out there of my hope of Vision still being good in this universe was what some might call completely wrong.
Yeah, with very quickly.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly. It wasn't even Vision. We can't even call him Vision here at all.
I think, whenever I see Vision, I will just always think WandaVision and think of that lovely version of Vision. And I want it to be him so badly.
Nope.
So I was just holding out hope. But when it comes down to it, I couldn't have been further from reality.
Yeah, Vision doesn't even exist in this universe / he's gone now. So, oh well, bye-bye. This episode opens up with Black Widow and Hawkeye fighting against Ultron sentries and infiltrating a KGB archives facility in Russia. Clint has a robot arm and Harry's invisibility cloak, while Nat has sweet wheels and her electro batons. Just going through their gear.
Right? It's just like, it's like end of the world, literally last 2 living people on Earth. Yet, still have some slamming arrows.
Of course.
An amazing motorcycle.
Yes.
Was able to build himself a little arm and somehow has a cloak that makes him invisible.
Yeah. Harry's invisibility cloak. They stopped by England on the way to Russia.
Hogwarts it is.
The Watcher explains in this reality that the Avengers failed to stop Ultron from fusing his organic body and Mind Stone, resulting in Ultron decimating almost all life on Earth in his misguided quest for peace. So Vision never existed. He never had a chance to. He was just directly uploaded into what we know as Vision's body. And if you know from Age of Ultron, he was trying to steal the cradle from the Avengers. Well, after they stole it, he's trying to steal it back so that way he can upload himself into Vision. But we know that Vision was able to be born from that, and we got a great counterpart to Wanda. In this one, we do not get that at all. Ultron eventually gets the nuclear codes and launches the world's nukes during a sequence that once again kills Tony Stark and some other people too. But of note, Tony Stark died again.
And luckily in that moment, Hawkeye and Black Widow are in some sort of super jet.
They're in the Quinjet.
Flying above the Earth.
Yeah, they're safe. They're the only people that happen to be.
Exactly. No one else. They're the only 2 Avengers, especially. It's always this funny thing, though, when you think about it. It's like, so Ultron was like, well, this planet's awful. Everything on it is awful. And to bring peace, I have to get rid of everyone. And then if you take a look at Thanos, Thanos is like, well, the universes are awful. And the only way to make things work is I have to get rid of half of everyone. It's like, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to tell us something.
I mean,
that we're awful.
It's almost as if Thanos was slightly more humble in how he was doing it, because he didn't release a bunch of nukes. He just took out half the population in the universe. This one, Ultron's like, I'm just going to kill everybody. Here we go. But I mean, he didn't have the stones at this point, but, oh, no, he did. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
No, not at this point yet. So it's not great. I mean, he's just like death by fire and radiation and destruction.
Yep.
But peace.
Yeah.
Tony is, I want to say, and I hope it continues in the What If, because at this point, how many times Tony has died is pretty hilarious. It's
every single episode.
Almost up to 6, I think, that he's died. And he's almost like Kenny from South Park at this point. They just keep killing him. So, yeah.
You killed Stoney, you bastards.
I love to see it. So Thanos arrives on Earth, but Ultron kills him and gains control of the assembled Infinity Stones because he pretty much already had all of them. He had one on his head, and Thanos had the rest of them. I'm sorry. Did I not say that he lasers him in half?
Like a hot knife through butter.
Thanos had no chance to say anything. Ultron was just like, fascinating.
Oh, cool.
I'll take those.
Zerp. Right up the middle.
Ultron gaining the stones was like a terrifying Captain Planet transformation.
Oh, it was so beautiful.
I know Vision was injured during Infinity War, but would have it been that easy to kill Thanos? I have to know. Like, come on.
I mean, I guess anybody's just organic matter, right? It's just like...
But he had most of the stones. Like, come on.
That dude came out of that portal. He took maybe a half a breath, and Ultron was like, whoa. Done. I mean, he fell apart into 2 halves. It was glorious.
Yeah. I just want to stay on the Infinity Stones for a second because we know what happens towards the end of this episode. You know, these stones are taken out of this universe. One of my big questions for the MCU ever since they were introduced is we know in the comics that the Infinity Stones can't work outside of their home universe. We thought in Loki, because all of those Infinity Stones taken from different timelines and different places, they didn't work. So we're like, oh, it must be true that they don't work outside of that. But it seems like that's not true in the MCU, that they can just work.
Yeah, well, Ultron says something later in the episode where like he says something like anything's possible in the multiverses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if you believe it,
no,
it's true.
No,
like Ultron's just like, they're gonna work wherever I go.
Yeah, I mean,
it does.
That's fine. I get it. I think it makes it, I guess, more interesting because it's like, are the stones going to show up again in the MCU? Because now we know they work, and also it's like, Loki, did you pocket one? Because if you would have taken one, and when you left the TVA, because I'm assuming they just didn't work because they're in the TVA, if they were even real. But he would have had more firepower.
Yeah. And, you know, I think it kind of, it like sort of adds to the mysticism and the power of them. I think it would be cool if there was only this one finite set of powerful stones. You know what I mean? So it's like, these are the stones you need. Just these 6, you know, and then the rest don't work or they're fake like the ones in the TVA. Because then it adds to their power and like kind of like, oh, the lore of them. Otherwise, it's like, if there are all these stones across multiple, you know, realities, what's the point of them if everybody could just have them? And they can work anywhere now.
Yeah, I mean, people aren't supposed to cross universes, though. So it's like, they technically could exist there.
Look, when one robot figures it out, it's all downhill from there.
With the powers of the stones, Ultron learns about other planets and goes on a rampage across the universe. Sakaar, Ego, and more are destroyed. And although Captain Marvel takes a pretty good crack at trying to end his conquest, I was going to say quest, but it's a conquest, she also fails to get the job done, which is pretty scary because Captain Marvel's pretty powerful. She could go hand in hand with Thanos with the Infinity Stones. So it's not looking good. With his mission finally complete, because he's decimated, I guess, every planet in the universe, Ultron becomes aware of the Watcher and realizes that there are countless universes waiting to be wrecked. Great. I love that the Watcher was narrating.
Yeah.
Ultron realizes it, that he's narrating, but doesn't notice because the Watcher's talking. And also, he's probably not used to people noticing him, but it's like,
It's literally everything in the universe has been destroyed. You're the only sound being made. I'm telling you, it all comes back to that rule from The Incredibles where they're like, they have to stop monologuing. It's like, everybody just be quiet. There's the Watcher right over his shoulder. Oh, he did it. He destroyed everyone. Wow, Ultron's so mighty. Of course he's going to hear you.
Yeah.
He's got a face, don't you, ding-dong?
Well, the funny thing was, it's like during this part, so as the episodes have gone on, and especially around the heroes, the Watcher has become more apparent, not transparent, with just his glowy eyes. But when he was talking about Ultron behind him, he looked like he normally looked, like in the beginning. So it's like almost as if the Watcher has been trying to almost subconsciously reveal himself to our heroes, but he knew to not do that with Ultron, but it still didn't work anyway.
Right. He was like, notice me.
And it's really interesting how it's set up with the Watcher is watching. So it's almost like the tiles that we see in the beginning, in the opening sequence with all of the different characters and stuff. I mean, it just looks like a giant wall of geo-formed rocks.
Yeah, / LCD screens that he can change the channel with a swipe of his hand.
He's just floating there.
Yeah.
Just floating.
Just hanging out in his wall of mirrors. Well, gem-like, if you will, to feel fancy.
I like it. I think it's an interesting way to... Because usually he's just like kind of floating around in space and stuff like that. But it gets to make sense. He's in like some in-between university thing.
I do like when he realizes that Ultron sees him. He's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, too late.
Change the channel. Change the channel.
Exactly. He like swipes his hand. He's like, oh, he won't find me. I don't think so.
But he still hears him. So he's like, nope, he knows. He's coming after you.
He's like, where are you, booby pants? I heard you.
Back on Earth, Clint and Natasha are hunting through the KGB archives. The Watcher almost intervenes with his like right there dummy. The Watcher is getting also freaked out because he can hear Ultron closing in on him. When it seems like the duo won't find what they're looking for, the Watcher's like, I'm about to do it. I can see the file. You've looked through every single file. Natasha eventually grabs the right box containing the file with the location of the last known copy of Zola's data-banked brain, as previously seen in Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
I like this version of Clint that's like tired.
Well, he just lost his family.
Well, no, I know. But I feel like it's very real, and I feel like I would have given up way before him, and I'd be like, I don't want to. He's like, oh my God, we've been doing this for so long, Natasha. She's like, come on. And she's like, look, puns might not be my thing, but sometimes practical comedy is.
I love that Natasha is being Natasha. Even in the darkest, I love that she's trying to make it light, and she found Red Guardian's shield and stuff like that. It's great. I mean, I like that there's that balance between them, and it's showing that okay, they have more of a friendship, because we didn't really get to see that in the MCU. We saw that they knew each other and that they were really good friends, but we never got to see that happen. So seeing tiny little glimpses of it is always nice, because of him, she's dead. So whatever. Just still salty about it. Ultron finds the Watcher, who tells Ultron he doesn't have to do this. But Ultron believes that he does have to do this. Hawkeye and Nat make it to the base in Siberia to convince Zola to help them defeat Ultron. Zola agrees to help them under pressure, and Nat summons the Avengers, aka Ultron, by ordering a gluten-free pizza. Great. Loved it.
Who is this?
I wouldn't expect her as a gluten-free pizza eater.
If it might be your last meal, maybe try something new. Go for it. Gluten-free.
True. Radiation, hold it.
Hold the radiation, please. Thanks, friend. I do love Clint's USB arrow that he has, that he can download Zola onto the tip of.
Oh, yeah. He has arrows for everything.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, in the animated version, not in live action. I mean, if this episode really has shown us anything, it's that Hawkeye needs to have better arrows in the MCU. Because I like Hawkeye in the comics. In the MCU, he's fine. I don't hate him. He's okay. But it's like he didn't... Why? At least an arrow with a punching glove in it or something. It was just like nothing but like explodey arrows that he had. Not great. Not fun.
No, I agree.
Oh, this one, it was like he had millions of different types. It's like, come on, hello.
Yeah. I don't know what goes on in that little thing he's got in his back, but it's manufacturing some really great arrows.
Ultron's robot kids arrive. Why are some crawling?
So creepy.
Don't understand. They can walk. And Hawkeye uses an arrow to upload Zola into an Ultron sentry. Unfortunately, Zola's not able to connect to the hive mind and save the day because Ultron's off-world having universal punch-up with the Watcher. And so Clint has to sacrifice himself to save Natasha in an almost exact reversal of the goodbye sequence in Avengers Endgame. Or AKA the way it was supposed to happen.
The truth is out there.
Just saying. Seeing Natasha fight with Red Guardian's shield is truly a joyful experience. I loved just seeing that because one, now we know the importance, at least with the MCU's connection to Red Guardian, but also just seeing her with a different type of weapon set. She can use a shield very well. I want to see her more doing.
Yeah, I think that's another point, right? Is that like Black Widow could have had some cooler accessories and stuff.
I do like her electro batons. I think it's a pretty cool look for her. And it's different than just the, Widow stunning wrist things.
I wish you all could see the motions that Noah was making. He kept trying to just poke the air with his wrists.
I was hoping stuff would come out. I'm always hoping. I mean, I've been reading comics since I was a kid, and I'm always just like, I got bit by a bug. Where's my powers?
Do the flick of the wrist, the Spider-Man. Nothing comes out.
Oh, yeah. As Ultron faces off against the Watcher in an eye-popping, universe-breaking scene, we get a chance to see a galactic-esque version of Ultron, an Earth populated by Skrulls, and a version of the world where Steve Rogers is being sworn in as President of the United States, which is super cool. The Watcher is pretty powerful. I was curious to see how involved he would get with this, but he's very powerful. He can stand up to somebody with the Infinity Gauntlet and all the stones and just kind of block them,
Yeah, I do. I like Ultron had a couple of he read the Watcher. First, he's like, all those worlds, all that suffering, and you just watched. And then, which granted, his idea is to then just kill all the world, so there is no suffering. But guys, let's find a middle ground.
Misguided.
Find a middle ground here. But then he also calls him like a creep or something like that. Because he's just like a voyeur. He just watches. He knows everything that ever will be or could be. And yet, he just watches it all fall apart. And I know there's a code or whatever, but that code has gotten him in trouble now, okay? Because he could have stopped this whole Ultron situation, who is now breaking into the multiverses.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, they...
And isn't it weird? He's like, I know everything that could have been or would have been or should have been or would have been. Uh-oh, what's this?
Yeah, he doesn't, though. And I think that's the thing that, and that's part of his journey, I guess, as the Watcher, that he doesn't know everything. And especially, I mean, when comics are involved, they're always like, I know everything. I've seen the future. And it's like, no, you don't. Watch. Okay, 2 seconds. Okay, no, you don't. See, it's, don't say you do, because you don't. So it's interesting because I didn't expect him to maybe I thought he was going to intervene a little bit, but not full on have to go throw hands with Ultron right away.
Yeah.
So that was pretty exciting to see. I was like, oh, he's forced to intervene now, and he's right there.
The Watcher in his intervening has a little Power Rangers transformation moment.
Oh my God,
that
I loved it.
So here for. Although I think we could have taken it a step further, and instead of a Power Rangers transformation, it could have been a Sailor Moon transformation.
It's only 30 something minutes long. We don't have an extra 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh, but just think of the spinning and the legs and the ribbons. Because there's one part where Ultron is levitating him into the air, and he does this little back archy thing, and his one leg is bent, and it's very elegant. Yeah, it's that's a Sailor Moon pose. We could have done it, everyone, because this was the shortest What If episode we've had all season. So why not put it in a little transformation sequence?
Was it the short? Oh my God. Yeah, we're almost done talking.
Yeah, it was almost 20. It was only 26 minutes or something like that. It was very short.
How dare they?
I know.
Penultimate episode, you have to give us more. I mean, there was a lot that happened in this.
They're look, we're giving you tying it all together. That's what we can do. Don't push it.
Thank you.
The next episode will be 45 minutes long.
I did see an interesting interview with AC Bradley, the writer of the show, and they had reportedly pitched an episode of the series that would adapt the Marvel Comics story, What If Captain America Had Been Elected President? And the envisioned installment that he had, playing homage to the West Wing, sadly didn't get put into the show. But I feel like just seeing that little scene was kind of like, can I just like tiptoe to... I want to see that episode next season. Come on. That sounds great.
It's funny. It feels like they're never giving us those full political stories, right? So we didn't get the Steve Rogers one. In Loki, we were all like, oh my gosh, the President Loki's there. What's going to happen? And it just turned out he was a variant.
Yeah, we saw like the aftermath.
Exactly. Exactly. So they're like, these exist. We're giving you the service of putting it in the background somewhere, but we're not going to fully explore it in an episode.
Exactly. But it's fun little Easter eggs. It's like I'm trying to watch what's happening, but stop throwing Easter eggs in the background, please.
He said, Stephen Grant Rogers.
I did not know his middle name was Grant. Or maybe I did, but I always forget.
It makes sense, though, right? Like Ulysses S. Grant, like the great general of America. And he's Captain America.
I see the connection now. I'm just assuming that they named their kid from him.
I mean, it's war. It's not a good thing. Here's a fun fact. In my little research in checking who Ulysses S. Grant was.
Great segue.
Full name, Hiram Ulysses Grant.
No.
This is what the internet says. Born in Ohio.
Hiram is born in Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Hiram Ulysses Grant. And then he said, I'm switching it up. Ulysses S.
Weird. Did he not want to have Hiram?
I guess not.
I mean, that's a pretty unique name. I mean, all of his name is pretty unique. So
yeah.
Whatever. He had the pick of the litter at that point.
Yeah, he could do what he wants.
I did, in the fight scene with these two, I really liked when Ultron was on top of the Watcher, punching him, going through different universes. It's different universes. It was great. It was cool.
I'm willing to let it go.
God, thank you.
Yeah.
But that was just really
cool. The different universes were really cool.
Shut up.
No, that was awesome.
Thank you.
They were different.
Oh my God. Interrupt me one more time.
Aren't you glad to say that? Anyway.
The animation style doesn't always work for me, but situations like that, it's pretty cool.
I think the really gleaming tiles and stuff were cool.
Yeah. In the end, Ultron gets so close to eliminating the Watcher, but he's unable to, and the Watcher flees. What he's best at doing is watching, is what Vision has said. At a loss, the Watcher consults none other than Strange Supreme, who we haven't seen since he broke his own world and got a Watcher scolding at the end of episode 4. I guess you don't need a toilet or food in your purple prison. But no, it's fine.
When you have all the powers, you just self-sustenance, and then you're your own toilet.
Ew. You're your own toilet?
Yeah, I'm sure he can open like a butt portal or something.
Butt portal?
He's got tentacles and horns. Maybe he has a butt portal.
Wow.
A portal. A portal. Portal? Poo? Pooptal?
How many episodes did we go without mentioning poo?
I mean, I would say out of 8 What If episodes, we've mentioned poop in 4 of them. At least.
I want to say 7.
Oh.
There's probably one where we didn't.
Definitely one we didn't.
Like Captain Carter, I don't think we did. The rest of
No, I did, because my first fact was about koala poop. Pat.
Oh, and then the next episode, oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. Underlying theme, poo.
Poop!
Well, it looks like Steven might have to, he might have what it takes to really take down Ultron, or they're going to be assembling a multiverse Avengers team, because we know Captain Carter and him meet and talk at one point, and I wouldn't be surprised if T'Challa shows up again, as well as Star-Lord. What's happening with Quill when he got talked to by Ego, his father? There's so many questions. We're not going to get a lot of answers this season, I'm pretty sure.
I want younger Shuri from 2 episodes ago to show up as the new Black Panther and be like, I had to kill my cousin. Pepper Potts helped me do it. let's go, New Avengers.
Eesh. Oh, no, that'd be good. But it would be like, it'd be funny for her just to be like, I just murdered somebody. Let's go save the world.
I mean, I'm sure it won't happen that way. She's probably imprisoned or something like that. But it would have been badass. It's not going to happen at all. But it still would have been really cool.
What if the last episode is only 15 minutes long?
It's literally a New Avengers Assemble moment. And then that's it.
Fun.
Yeah, and then Ultron goes, meow, and kills them all.
No, oh my God.
And Zola's like, thank you, sir.
I'm interested to see how if they're going to defeat him in this next one, because again, he took down Thanos very easily. He took down Captain Marvel seemingly pretty easy. So
yeah,
they're going to have to come up with some, not good reason, because I'm like, oh, they're too powerful to beat. But it's like, you set the bar pretty high here.
Yeah, the only thing that I think they have on their side is the fact that they have Zola, who can basically hack into the system.
Oh, that's right. He's still around. Why is he the only robot without legs? Come on.
Yeah, I guess but it's weird. It's like funny because they shot his legs off, but they can still fly. But are there jets in their feet?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like, well, that was a weird choice. And now she's got to lug them all over the world.
Yeah. I mean, can she just take his head?
Yeah.
It seems easier
Simplify
to carry
it.
Right? That's where the brain and
your arm.
computer is. Yeah. Come on. Smarter, not harder, Nat. But now the post-apocalyptic Funko Pop makes sense, because I was curious on what that one was about, and it's this one. But we got it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I think that's all we have to talk about. There was a lot. I mean, it was just really bang, 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 flash. Here you go. Bye. So, I mean, I'm sure we're going to have a lot to say in the final episode of What If for this season.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. This is the first one, I think, that I've left kind of being like, oh, wow, cool. Because it did all the things that we wanted, where it
8 episodes in.
Well, no, it's like, it's tying things together. The cliffhanger makes sense. There's, some good action sequences. The animation was cool. Like, so everything else was like depressing or like, what's going on or whatever. And this one feels like, I
don't mind it.
Yes.
I like the darker stories, as you know, and some people know. So, whatever. The Doctor Strange episode was my favorite one. I'm gonna say that now.
The saddest one.
But it was good. Anyway, go on. What's your segment?
Ooh. He's spicy. This morning.
Everybody calls me spicy.
Spicy.
It's weird.
Yeah. Well, some things are true. Anyway, things that make you go what? Delicious.
What?
Mustache.
What?
Cylinder.
I'm already saying what?
Magic. AKA
Houdini?
Pringles.
Oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Did Houdini have a mustache? He had to have.
I think so.
Like one of those pencil ones?
Yeah, like a little handlebar guy. In the 1950s, Americans became obsessed with potato chips, but they hated how greasy they were and how they were easily crushed in the bag.
Still do.
Yep. Enter Frederick J. Bauer, who created the saddle-shaped chip and its glorious cylindrical container, Pringles.
Wait, his name wasn't Pringles?
No, Frederick J. Bauer.
Okay.
They actually don't know where the name Pringle came from.
Why are you talking about this then?
Because it's not, the what moment isn't about the name.
I know, but that's so disappointing, isn't it?
No, yeah, it's funny. They're like, well, they think maybe someone who invented its name was like, who helped like customize the packaging was named Pringle, or they literally just someone lived on Pringle Street, or they just opened a phone book and picked the name Pringle.
I'm going to Google people that are named Pringle around that time.
Heir to the Pringle fortune. Yeah, but really the Bowers are the heir to the Pringle fortune.
They could have called them Bowers.
Bowers.
No.
There was like a point in time where it was called like a Bauer saddle chip.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's shaped like a saddle. Anyway,
okay.
Unfortunately, in the 50s, no one actually liked how they tasted, so they shelved them until the 70s.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So they just sat there for a couple of decades.
It took 20 years to perfect the flavor.
Yep. And then Pringles got their second shot, but the public was up in arms that it was made of other ingredients other than potato. So the name was forcibly changed from potato chip to potato crisp. Because like a potato chip is like an enholden thing.
It's the same thing. Americans are dumb.
Yeah, everybody was angry. And I think that it also was it's kind of reminded me of like the vacuum cleaner thing where like people were like other potato chip makers were seeing the popularity of this and they're like, well, it's not a chip. It's not a chip. They can't call it a chip.
Call it what the English folk call it, crisps.
Crisp. That's right. So now, it's still called a crisp today.
No.
Yeah, if on the cans, they're crisps.
Weird.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
it's just a C and I'm just like chip.
Yeah. I mean, we just call them Pringles.
That's true. We don't call them chips. We
Right?
call them Pringles.
Call them Pringles.
Oh my God.
Perhaps, though, the biggest what moment was when inventor Bauer passed away in 2008. He asked to be cremated and have his remains stored in the crisps cylinder.
Oh, no.
And so he was laid to rest in the red original Pringles can.
Ew.
Once you pop, the fun don't stop until it does.
Why? Like, I know that you invented something, but was it at least decorated differently?
No, one of the things I saw was that it like literally his kids like went to the store and they were like, which one? Should we do barbecue, sour cream and onion? And they were like, no, let's keep it original. We'll do the red one.
They didn't even make it. They just went to the store.
I don't think they bedazzled it or anything.
Ew. Like, how did they? Oh, did the cremator, the person that cremates,
Cremationist? I don't know.
Whatever. Did he have to like put a funnel on top of the thing?
Maybe he just gave it a nice scoop. I don't know.
His whole body can't fit in this can, guys.
I know. Well, that was another thing. Anyway.
It's the snack size. It's not even.
Oh, no. The travel go? Yeah. They went to Costco and got like the 50-pack?
Oh, okay. Well, cool.
Right?
I'm going to get cremated and put into my favorite candy.
The worst thing about this was that I just wanted a bunch of potato chips the entire time. And Pringles.
I want them now. So
Although, if you've ever seen our Japanese Pringles
oh my God.
YouTube video.
One of the 3 videos we put up on YouTube. Watch the Pringles one. It was disgusting.
I got literally sick.
He literally got sick for a whole day.
Yeah.
So,
but
whatever.
Pringles.
Do we still have some? I think we do.
Yeah, we do. But
I keep saying I'm going to eat them and I don't.
You don't. They're just sitting there.
It's been a year.
Ooh.
Anyway.
We're going. Yikes. Okay, anyway. Bye.
Did you finish?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, it's really early. We have to go to work now. Bye.
Goodbye. Thanks for listening to A Bite Of, artwork and editing by our own Noah. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at A Bite Of Pod and on Facebook at A Bite Of. If you have questions, recommendations, or just want to say hi, you can email us at abiteofpod@gmail.com. You can find us on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate and review to spread the word. Hope you join us next time on A Bite Of. Bye!